Hey everybody, welcome back to Born Again to Live. It is a Blues Day Tuesday with Eric, with Amy. It's just been a great day.
It has been. I love our recording days. I love how we come in with baggage and we just talk through.
Yeah, we really do. We just kind of leave it at the door and we are just in the moment. And, speaking of Blues Day, boy, when we started the story of Ruth, she was definitely having a rough one. It was definitely a blue day. But you know what? Things are looking up for our main character these days, huh?
That's right. Yep. We're getting ready. We just got through yesterday where she was able to get a whole bunch of grain off of Boaz's fields for months and taking care of her mother-in-law like she said she was going to when she stuck with her through all the stuff she was going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And since it is a Blues Day Tuesday, I feel like it really I don't know, it kind of parallels just how God's been providing for this place for so long. I mean, I know you stacked the stand for the floors and even how we came in under budget and just we just celebrated 6 years of having this place open and just, the way God provides and the way he uses all of us to kind of be there for each other. You've got Ruth in the fields working, taking care of Naomi. And that's what we do here at Big Blue, right? We take care of this entire community, not just people that come in the door. We are reaching out. And, I hope we do a whole section on the Big Blue Gives Back. I think it's a great parallel to this story, I think. But anyway, I just wanted to make a Blues Day Tuesday connection. So there you go.
There we go.
There you have it. All right. So we are in chapter 3 now, huh?
Chapter 3, yep.
Okay. So to let's recap. So chapter 1 on Friday. Well, Naomi's having the worst day ever, right? Her husband dies, her sons die, her one daughter-in-law leaves her. But the one that kind of silver lining and glimmering hope is that her daughter-in-law Ruth says, I will never leave you.
Even though she wanted her to.
Yep, absolutely.
She's trying to
yeah. But our Lord Jesus also says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. So I love it. I love that she is just tried and true. And then in chapter 2, we find her really kind of, she's showing up and she's like, I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. And she goes to this field and she's gleaning and comes home with all this wheat and barley and she's providing for her mother-in-law just like she said she would.
Yep.
And it happens to be the field of one of their relatives.
Yep. And we meet Boaz, who is a godly man who does what the Mosaic law at that time said he should and takes care of the widows, orphans, and strangers. And she falls under the category of all of those, really. She's an orphan from her land, her people, all that stuff.
Yeah.
She's a widow and she's a foreigner. So all of those categories amount to what Boaz is supposed to do, and he does what he's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So you want to start chapter 3?
Yeah. So now we're going to go into chapter 3. Do you have any idea where it should stop? Let's go all the way through? Wait, what do we got?
All the way
through. All right. Buckle up, everyone. We're doing 18 verses. Okay. So one day, Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, said to her, my daughter, I must find a home for you where you will be well provided for. Now, Boaz, with whose women you have worked, is a relative of ours. Tonight we'll be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, put on your perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do. I will do whatever you say, Ruth answered. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. When Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. Ruth approached quietly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. In the middle of the night, something startled the man. He turned, and there was a woman lying at his feet. Who are you? He asked. I am your servant Ruth, she said. Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family. The Lord bless you, my daughter, he replied. This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you all you ask. All the people of my town know that you are a woman of noble character. Although it is true that I am a guardian redeemer of your family, there is another who is more closely related than I. Stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to do his duty as your guardian redeemer, good. Let him redeem you. But if he is not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. Lie here until morning. So she lay at his feet until morning, but got up before anyone could be recognized. And he said, no one must know that a woman came to the threshing floor. He also said, bring me the shawl you are wearing and hold it out. When she did so, he poured into it 6 measures of barley and placed the bundle on her. Then he went back to town. When Ruth came to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, how did it go, my daughter? Then she told her everything Boaz had done for her and added, he gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed. Then Naomi said, wait, my daughter, until you find out what happens, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled today.
So you were talking yesterday about the kinsman redeemer, or however else they worded it. But there's a little graphic in mine that says the qualifications for that are, number 1, they had to be blood relationship, 2, necessary resources, and 3, willingness to buy. And then there's a correlation to Christ fulfilling all of those for us. And there's Galatians 4 for the blood relationship, 1 Corinthians 6:20 for the necessary resources, and John 10:15 through 18 for the willingness to pay the price.
Which we just read, John. Yeah, that's so cool.
So, yeah, and John 3:16 is an element for that one. But those were the qualifications that Boaz had to meet. And that's why he said there's one closer that might be willing. So he was doing things in the right order all the time. He wasn't jumping the ship and going, well, I'm going to do that. Think about David, who, when he wanted Bathsheba, he just got the husband killed off, right?
Yeah.
So the Boaz has character enough to say, all right, we're going to go about this the right way. You just stay here for the night and leave so no one knows you're here, so you don't lose character, you don't lose shame, any of that kind of stuff. He does everything in this story the correct way.
Yes.
And so does Ruth. Like, she goes and she doesn't make anybody know that she's there, doesn't allow him, and just calmly goes about doing this in a way to say, I want you.
Yes.
To be the person who redeems us. And it's the way she goes about it, too, that earns his respect to say, okay, we're going to go about this the right way, but I hope he does.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a pecking order, and he knows, like, there's one family member that's closer that should have this spot. But, you know, if they don't choose, right, if they're not going to choose to accept this role, then I will do it. So, I mean, that's that's a win-win situation right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, and there's some parts in there like the when it says he'll be out there winnowing barley.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's the process to where late in the evening the breezes would kick up in those areas, and they would take what they had thrashed out and throw it up in the air so the chaff would fly off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And land, the grain would be the only thing left on the threshing floor, which is kind of a cool process. I think that's how they did the separation.
Yeah.
We have all these modern machines and stuff that thresh it and do all this, but they were simply just throwing it up in the air and letting God or the wind take care of getting rid of the bad stuff. And it's kind of a cool process. So, but I know there's probably people who are wondering what the threshing floor was and that kind of stuff. And the threshing floor is simply like just a dedicated room to where they worked with grain. It was a hard floored surface.
Yeah.
Slept on a really hard floor.
This was not a romantic rendezvous. I mean, because you're reading that and, you know, and she's like, he'll tell you what to do. I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening here? Like, what is about to happen? But again, he treats her very tenderly, very kindly. He calls her daughter. Like, he is not, you know, he is just not this lecherous, you know, uncle that is, you know, trying to take advantage of this foreigner, that is in need. And he's so kind. And like you said, he really is a true man of God in this story. So,
Yeah, I mean, he still calls her daughter, and it shows how he thinks of her. He
yeah.
thinks of her and says, "You didn't run after the young men, either with your rich or poor." So
Yeah.
she could have came back and found the first. I mean, she's not from there. She didn't have to worry about the Mosaic law, the order of things, and all that. She could have just ran to the first good-looking guy she found, her age, and just there was. There you just go that way. But no, she did things in this manner because she was looking to do what was right in God's eyes and her mother-in-law's eyes. So her mother-in-law has to give some credit here because she wouldn't have known the Mosaic law. She wouldn't have known how to do things.
Yeah.
So she had to be taught. So Naomi, as bitter as she wants to be, is still going about things too. So I don't want her to get a bad reputation maybe here.
Right.
Because she does have characteristics of showing some character or a lot of character to be like, just do what he says. Like, he'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of restraint in desperate times to just not try to, skirt the law and skirt the way that this is how we're supposed to do things. This is how we're supposed to behave. This is how we're supposed to act. When people are desperate, they just they can use really bad judgment sometimes, but she is upholding as an Israelite woman, like, no, this is the way we do things. And but yeah, I think do we think she's still bitter at this point, or is she?
No, I think she's good.
She's coming around. Okay, yeah. And I love that once again, like Boaz just, here, hold out your shawl, and just sends her home with a whole bunch of barley that he just threshed. Not, because it said earlier that Ruth had been doing, after she gathered all this stuff, then she was threshing it all. At this point, this dude had done all the work, and now he's just sending it home as like this gift, right? Like that tells you the relationship has changed. You're no longer this servant worker. Now I'm gifting this to you because you're family to me.
And he says, don't go home empty-handed. Don't let your mother-in-law see you come home empty-handed. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And recently we talked about the Proverbs 31 woman.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's Ruth. I mean, characteristics that she kind of shows here. The devoted to her family, diligent to her work, diligent in her labor, delicate and godly, or to godly speech, or dedicated to godly speech, dependent on God, dressed with care, discreet with men, and delivering blessings.
Yeah.
So, like, all that talk we did about that, she's exhibiting these characteristics and showing how to walk that out. And
yes,
as hard as it sounds to be that Proverbs 31 woman or Job 29 man, I think both of these are showing that characteristics.
Yeah, definitely. This should have just been on the tail end of that whole discussion. But
if we knew what we were doing, we would have done.
I know, but we're not. We never know what we're doing, Eric. But that's okay. No, but she has, Ruth has proven herself to be diligent and hardworking, and I love that about her. And what's funny is it doesn't really even talk about how the relationship between the two in the beginning. Like, did she have a reason to actually love this woman? Because, a lot of times these in-laws are not exactly a walk in the park, and we can all we can always laugh to ourselves thinking about stories of in-laws. But the fact that it's almost like whether Ruth really loved Naomi or not, she really felt this sense of duty to her, and that is like the greatest sense of love, because, the First Corinthians love is not that warm, fuzzy feeling kind of love. It is patience, it is kindness, it is, long suffering. We've talked about that as, or I guess forbearance, but long suffering was a fruit of the Spirit, right? Yeah. And that's what Ruth is demonstrating. As a Moabite woman, it's like she has got all the fruits.
Yeah.
All the fruits.
Yeah, she did. She was coming from as a foreigner, not being of God's chosen people. She exhibits it better than people who were walking in that.
Yeah.
So, and I love at the end there where Naomi's advice to her is, sit still, my daughter, until you know the matter, how it will turn out. For the man will not rest until he has concluded the matter of this day.
Yeah.
And that's telling you that when he said what he said, he's going to do what he said. I mean, he said, hey, I'll take care of this. You just go home and tell your mother-in-law that we're good, like that we're going to make this go right. And she just says he's a man of his word, basically.
Yeah,
And that's another characteristic that we don't talk about. It like he's done everything to protect her. He's given her provision and all these things, but then he does what he says he's going to. He's never backed down on his word, probably. I mean, 3 months of harvesting grain behind him.
Yeah.
He's always continued to leave a little bit for her, or all these things. Just continue to just be who he says he's going to be.
I know someone else like that. Jesus.
Yeah.
He is exactly what he said. He does what he says he's going to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's always there looking out for us and taking care of us. And he, kind of like we started this podcast, Eric, he sees the one, chases after the one. He loves the one. And that one could be you guys. So, yeah, I don't know. We could take a pause on the threshing floor right now and just say, hey, if you don't know Jesus, maybe it's time to invite him in. Invite him to the dinner. Invite him to the threshing floor.
That's right. He'll provide everything for you.
Absolutely.
We're gonna wrap up a little early today, and we'll come back tomorrow and finish off Ruth. And at the end of this, there's a really cool. I love the ending just because of the way it takes you to why it matters.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Why it matters is there.
Yes. So the exciting conclusion will be tomorrow.
That's right.
Da, 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 da.
All right. See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.